Today we bring in you London Reyes, friend of ours, friend of your friend, and London is making an announcement today. He has plans for Yonkers. He's hoping to make a change for Yonkers. London, what is it?
Well, first, thank you for taking time out and doing this. I appreciate it. And you know, today's the first time I'm actually publicly going to be in front of a camera and just letting people know that I, London Reyes, intend on running for County Legislator in 17th District, hoping to bring about the change that is desperately needed in our community.
And you're running against whom, London?
The person I'm running against is a challenging opponent, and I respect her abilities. Her name is Virginia Perez, and she's been elected 3 times over. And I think that the time has come where we need to move forward, not backwards.
Right, but if you're trying to be elected and you're running against Virginia, fair to assume that there is certain things that you think could be done better, there is things that need to be changed, there is things that can be brought to the attention of the people in order for you to be elected. What are those changes? What are those things that you will do different?
Oof, that's a good question. Difficult to answer only because we're limited on time. But
that's true.
I've been here for 26 years. Kids are born and raised in Nodine Hill. And for the 26 years that I've been a part of Southwest Yonkers, there's never been really someone that has been out there truly representing the community. People get elected and sometimes they get comfortable or sometimes they forget their roots. I've been involved with the community for so long, and it's just something that I was just born and raised to do. It's just natural for me. And I don't enjoy seeing people suffer. And unfortunately, in Southwest Yonkers, and specifically in Nodine Hill, the most impoverished community in all of Westchester County. That wasn't the case 26 years ago. So that tells me that we're not moving in the right direction. And no matter how much the politicians say that Yonkers is great and it's thriving and it's beautiful, according to the numbers and the statistics, nothing could be further from the truth. And that's not to say that there are some things that are getting better, but we don't feel it in Nodine Hill and in Southwest Yonkers. And I'm looking to bring about the change that's required so that we can experience some of that relief, some of that enjoyment, some of that rebuilding. I don't see that new construction happening in Nodine Hill, which happens to be one of the oldest communities, and just the stock house alone. It's old. It's not been refurbished. So, you know, I wish we had a lake or a river or ocean by Nodine Hill that they could build that place up a little bit. We could use a little sprucing up, if you will.
Now, London, before we go into your campaign, about your hopes, about what you think you can improve or help improve for the community, let's talk a little bit about you, about the man. Okay, so people out there know where you come from and where you're going to. How long you been involved with the community?
Really, my whole life. I mean, I grew up in the South Bronx, and I was very fortunate to grow up in an area where we didn't have a lot. Very similar to Southwest Yonkers. We didn't have services, we didn't have a lot of relief and a lot of help, and a bunch of us kids started to create a movement. And many years later, that movement became hip-hop culture. So for me, we're just trying to duplicate history. This is a movement that I am a part of, and this movement is led by young people who have a tendency not to be involved. Young people who have a tendency not to vote. They have a tendency to be forgotten. It's usually the older generation, especially the senior citizens that are consistently voting. But for the young generation, they have not been able to latch on to somebody with a strong voice that has a proven track record of getting things done. And I think that that's what I'm looking to do in Southwest Yonkers. I'm looking to say, look at my history, look at the work that I've done. As someone that's just a regular, citizen, I'm not a politician, I haven't gotten paid to do these things. I just do it because I know there's a need. I know there's a need to provide services. I know there's a need to provide programming. I know there's a need to bring the unity together, to unite everybody in order for us to get what we deserve, which is happiness. We just want the same thing that everybody else wants, opportunity. And then it's up for us to take it. But we're not even given the opportunity to take advantage of what many people outside of Southwest Yonkers and North Hill, we don't get that same thing. We just want a little more equality. That's all we're really asking for. I don't think that's so much to ask for.
Now, I know that you're a great dancer. I've seen you dance. I've seen it, I heard about you, and it's all good. But running for legislator, it's a different thing. Yeah. You're going to be dealing with $1 million budgets. You're going to be dealing with what's the right thing to do. You're going to be dealing with priorities. Yeah. You're going to be dealing with a huge avenue or road of what is right now. So there's a lot of big difference between the dancing and the politics. Yeah. Are you prepared, London?
Well, I see similarities, right? When I dance, I make people feel good. When I provide programs, I make people feel good. So there is no difference. It's all the same difference. You know, what it comes down to is we as legislators or as city council members or as mayors or as governors, as elected officials, our job is to serve the public. And sometimes we get caught up with numbers. We say, 15,000 registered voters, but only 1,000 votes, so I'm going to focus on the 1,000 and forget about everybody else. I think that's wrong. I think that once you get elected, you still must serve all of the people. You can't just not show up. You can't just say, well, they're not voters, so I'm not going to, attend to their needs, because it hurts everybody, not just Southwest Yonkers, but the whole city at large. Many people don't want to move to Yonkers or are moving out because they say, Yonkers is not the same. It's different. They say it's getting better, but come down to North Hill and you tell me if it's getting better. Let me see somebody that's an elected official live in North Hill. I know some people say they do, but I don't see them there.
That's true. But now, Virginia Perez, like you said, been there for a few years. Yeah. The older citizens of Westchester very comfortable with her. Mm-hmm. And you have the new generation. Mm-hmm. How are you motivating the new generations to come out and vote? Because it's important. Speak about the importance of voting. A lot of people complain. Yeah. A lot of people talk about the elected officials. But when time comes to make that change, they're not there to cast that vote. Look at the camera, tell them how important it is to come out that day and vote for whoever they think is the best person for the job.
Well, twofold. Number one, I'm not motivating them, they're motivating me, right? So I'll just say this. For those that are out there that are truly looking for an opportunity to live in an environment where you feel comfortable, you feel that your needs are being met, you feel like programs and services are being thrown your way, then I suggest that you come and be a part of this movement. Essentially, elections come down to one or two things. You either like the direction that we're going in and you like what's happening in the city, or you don't and you feel like a change is needed. So if you like schools not having art and music and sports, and you like not having after school programs, and you like not getting involved with Head Start, and you like, unfortunately, some of the high crime pockets, then I'm not the person you want in office.
I understand that they are motivating you to run. Mm-hmm. But there is nothing you can do unless they go out there and vote. Right. Yeah. So the people of Yonkers need to understand, even though they want change, that change will not happen unless they vote for whoever they feel is the right person for the job. Yeah. So I want to emphasize that regardless if you win or if you lose, voting is important.
Yeah. It is the most important thing that one can do in their lifetime. Because without voting, nothing can be done, right? I mean, we are a country that's based on laws, rules and regulations, right? That's what keeps society together in many ways. And I think the abuse of those opportunities is what gets us in trouble, right? I mean, sometimes too much power is bad. Sometimes voting 100% one way is bad. I mean, I don't agree with my wife 100% of the time, but there has to be balance. And I just think that the real reason why I've agreed to get into this race is because I want there to be a fair system, a more balanced system. It's okay for individuals to go out there and make money. It's okay to bring in new business. It's okay even sometimes to offer some of these 1%ers tax breaks. But it's not okay if they get all the breaks. And Nodine Hill and Southwest Yonkers, we're not getting our fair share. That's what that is. And our representatives are not doing a good job at articulating those things. And that's what's causing the pain. And that's the pain that I feel, my wife feels, my kids feel, the kids in the community, their parents. So this is a movement. This is not a campaign. This is a movement of we need to find someone that has a strong voice, that's willing at times to stand up, sometimes against greater power, and say these things, to let them know that what's happening is not right. And only together as a community can we make that change. I, as an individual, cannot do that. But it starts with one voice, one mic, one concept, one vision, one step. It has to start somewhere. And I'm hoping that it starts with me and we carry on to the next election. And then hopefully in 5, 10, 15 years, we could look back to this and say, history was made. Because my motto is, if you're not trying to make history, then you're really not trying. Everyone should try to make history.
Now let's talk about something else. You're running against Virginia.
Yes.
Give me some specifics about what things that Virginia has done that you would do differently. Specific. Do you have one?
Well, I mean, just, I don't want to go too deep into it, because like I said, we're limited on time. But just the fact, anyone voting against after-school programs, for example, which she has done, is something to me that is unacceptable. You have to invest in youth. You know, having more cops is not the solution to the problem that we face. We can hire 10,000 more cops. The solution is investing in children through education, through after-school programs, through activities. You invest in that so when they get older, they can graduate from high school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job. Otherwise, they drop out, they do mischievous things, we get upset, we lock them up, we incarcerate them, they come back out, and they do the same thing, and it's a cycle. And we're paying all this money to put them in jail when you can probably pay maybe 30% of that for the first 18 years of their life, and they'll probably be giving you more money.
Is there anything that she has done that you agree with?
Well, I mean, she has visited the senior citizen centers quite often. And I must say that she does pay very good attention to them. And I would say that that's a good strategy, to go out there and spend time with them and take them out and wine and dine them, because that is where the votes are. They do vote 98% of the time, and the young people don't. So I get why she does that. I would say that, you know, that's something that I commend her on. I mean, for whatever the reason is, she is still serving the senior citizens, which do need that service.
So then we come back to the base. We come back to the base of your membership, of your support, of those that are going to vote. Right. She banks on the elderly.
Yeah.
That's her level of support.
Correct.
And you probably, you want to serve everyone, as you said.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you need to motivate a certain group to vote otherwise. Now, what about her support and versus your support? Are you getting support from, I understand you are independent.
Yeah.
She's not. What is Virginia?
Well, Virginia is technically a Democrat, but I think everybody is well aware that she is a Republican. She carries the Trump agenda, the Rob Astorino agenda, the GOP agenda, the Republican agenda. All of those things is what she represents. And not just her, Kapowitz as well. Just look at her voting record. You know, she caucuses with them. She meets with them. She dines, wines. Who funds her? They do. So that's clear. And people have brought that out. So that's, I don't want to beat a dead horse. That to me is irrelevant. What it comes down to, no matter who funds you, no matter what they do for you, we're not going to be able to raise the same kind of money that she's going to raise. But she doesn't have the level of respect that I have within the community. So what this comes down to is people versus money. That simple. Do the people want to defeat the money, or does the money want to continue to pound down the people? At some point, we have to stand up. And if you don't stand up, you'll wind up falling back. And that's what we've been experiencing, a fallback in services and all the different things that we're experiencing. That's why when I first moved here 26 years ago, it wasn't the worst community in all of Westchester County. That to me says it all right there.
So we spoke about her agenda. Now tell me about your agenda.
My agenda is to bring people together, the things that I've been doing for the last 16 years. I mean, my track record is very clear. You know, I've offered services with really very limited help and support. You know, I wish that the city and some of the politicians who do support me, but those that choose not to, I wish they were more involved and more engaged. And not just the politicians, but businesses. You know, it's a true community effort. You know, we don't have that level of support, which is why I think some people are a little nervous, right? Because if I have a city job, well, you can get replaced. You need to calm down, right? If I'm getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of funding, well, we can cut that funding source. But when you're truly independent from all of that, then you get to speak truth, right? So if big business came in and wrote a big check, well, that comes with certain demands. I prefer to work with the people, which is why in my campaign, we have a $17 donation, because I'm running in the 17th district, and everybody in that district should have a voice. You shouldn't have to write a check for $10,000 to have a seat at the table, right? Not everybody could afford $5,000 donation, $10,000 donation. Not everybody could afford $17. But I think for $17, you get to say what you want to say, and everybody should have a voice, and I want to represent that.
Now, if you get elected and the people get their voices through you, what will be your lineup? What would be the first things that you will tackle and hope accomplish?
Well, there's so many things that have to be done. It's hard to say that this is the first thing I'm going to do. I think ultimately it depends on how the elections turn out, right? If I'm fortunate enough to win this seat, and I do truly believe that I am, like I really don't think I'm going to lose at all, regardless of what anybody says. I just believe that I'm in this to win this. Otherwise, why would I be doing this? I don't do this to lose. I do this because I want to make a difference. So depending on the partnerships that we have on the county level, ultimately depends, right? If we're able to flip this back to the Democratic side and have a more of a progressive agenda, then there's a lot of wonderful things that we can do. There's a lot of services that we can offer, but it just depends on the whole entire county.
Well, the question is based on you winning. Okay? You won the election.
Right.
Give me some specific. What is the most important thing that you feel that needs to be addressed right away, that you would address it right away? Can you give me any specifics?
So here's a couple of things that I would like to address, right? Youth services, number one. You have to offer programs, whether those include job opportunities, training for those job opportunities, whether that includes after-school programs, lock-key kids who they go out of school, their parents are working 15 hours a day. Sometimes they come from a single-family environment. They have to go somewhere. Outside of the drug dealers and the gangsters and the mobsters, they have to go somewhere. We can't let them raise them, right? So we need quality after-school programs. But also just the water treatment plant. You know, that water treatment situation has been going on for so many years, and even prior to Virginia. So this is not even about Virginia Perez, to be honest with you. This is just about the way we do business. These issues have been gone for the 26 years that I've been here, to be quite honest with you. So this is not me versus Virginia. This is me versus the system that we have in place that continues to elect people that can't get the job done. I'm going to change that.
Well, it is and it isn't. Because if Virginia had been there for a while, and if you felt like she had done the things that you're saying that you're looking forward to do, then we would all be happy. So she was the voice. She is the voice. She was the elected official. She is elected official. So in your opinion, there is certain things that she should have done and didn't do. And that's why you are running.
Money has a tendency to silence your voice. When you rely on the money, sometimes you got to be a little quiet.
To be honest, I really don't know what you mean. What are you saying?
Every politician has to raise money. How incredible would it be if London Reyes goes out there and creates one of the biggest upsets in Westchester County? She's unbeatable. Every single person the Democratic Party has put up, she's knocked them down. She might be the Mike Tyson of politics.
Well, Mike Tyson got knocked out.
I'm going to have to be the Buster Douglas.
Well, London, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And the best person will win this. And if you do, I hope that you'll remember the people from Yonkers, the people that hopefully will see change, and hopefully you will represent them. And wish you the best and wish you good luck. Now, is there a last word that you want for our community, for all those guys, all those thousands of people that watch Yonkers Voice on a daily basis? Yeah. Maybe you want to tell them when is the election, what's the next step, how can they look for you or learn more about you? Maybe you can look at them and tell them.
Well, I'll just say this. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for all the years of allowing me to help shape and mold you and allowing me to feel special in that sense. You know, and I just want to say that this has been a great opportunity for me and my community to come together once again and to do something special. And for that, I'm thankful. And I hope that this will continue to happen. And I'm looking forward to getting on that podium and giving a victory speech and knowing that for the very first time in a long time, Southwest Yonkers is going to have somebody that's truly going to fight for them. And then we're not going to take a step back. We may not be able to run to the finish line. We may not be able to jog to the finish. We might have to crawl, but we're going to get there one way or the other. And if anybody knows me, and all you kids know me, and all you parents know me, you know the one thing that I do is I put up a good fight. And I don't stop until we get what we want. And that is something that I promise. And on that note, I want to thank you for taking this opportunity. And I'm going to see you at the finish line.
Thank you, London.
Thank you.
Band with Yonkers Voice. And don't forget, it isn't local unless it's Yonkers Voice. Have a good night.